I mean, one difficulty, I think, with arguing that we should make the names of people accused of rape public to encourage anyone else they might have assaulted, raped, to come forward to strengthen the case for the prosecution, is that, well, couldn't you make the same argument from the defence side? Actually, people who are accusing other people of rape, their names should also be made public because they may have made false accusations before, and the police aren't going to learn that, the jury aren't going to learn that, unless their name's made public and other people who've been falsely accused of rape by them come forward. Just to pick up one point that Laurie made, he cited the stat, which is often cited when rape's discussed, which is the small number of rape prosecutions that actually end in conviction. And you said, you know, you're concerned about the victims who don't get justice, but you're assuming that in those trials, when the accused is acquitted, that's a miscarriage of justice. And whenever someone accuses someone else of rape, they're right, and they should be classed as a victim, and the person accused is always guilty. It may well be that the reason there are so few, the reason there are so few convictions is because there isn't sufficient evidence in most of these cases to convict people. That may mean that some guilty people go free, but it also means that innocent people are not going to be jailed. And I think, you know, the argument for the presumption of innocence is it's better for a guilty person to go free than it is for an innocent person to end up in prison.
Do you want to respond to that?
Yeah, and I'm not presuming that. I obviously understand the argument you're making there, but those who are more qualified than me, maybe both of us, including the Victims Commissioner, have been very clear that there are some structural barriers to being able to put forward rape cases and them to be properly explored. One of them, for example, is underinvestment in the Crown Prosecution Service. It's lost about 2,500 members of staff. It's experienced cuts of between a quarter and a third. And that has made it harder for people to be able to go through the criminal justice system, to the point where the Victims Commissioner has raised serious questions about the ability of that justice system to actually successfully prosecute rape or to go through the due process of exploring justice. And we must remember just a bit of wider context here. Not every single case that goes forward gets the type of public attention that this one did. More of the average case that we should be thinking about is a very difficult situation that's often not necessarily conducted in the public light, that has lots of very painful power dynamics. A lot of people who probably have been victims of rape often drop out of the criminal justice system because of how long it takes, the onerous requirements on the amount of evidence they have to provide, and so on. And so I'm not saying we need a situation where we believe everything out of hand and so on. I see the complexities here, but time and time again, I think we are rightly been told by people who have far much more expertise than us that it's quite difficult for people who have probably legitimately been victims to navigate the justice system.